Reviews. Today I am reviewing the not-so-recently released movie, Black Widow, starring Scarlett Johansson, who you should definitely not slime during, while she's receiving an award.
Culmination of 10 years of work and one of the greatest...
MTV, you got slimed!
That's Nickelodeon!
I'm very, very sorry.
Florence Fuga and David Harbour. So we are doing Black Widow. Now, Black Widow, the movie, it technically released this year in 2021. It was supposed to release last year, but, you know, COVID ruined that. But, however, now, so the movie technically takes place, in terms of the MCU, it technically takes place right after Captain America Civil War. So, you know, it's technically, its placement is technically in Phase 3, even though it's the first movie of Phase 4 of the MCU. How that works, I just don't get. So anyway, the movie starts off, it starts off way back in 1995, back when Natasha Romanoff, her younger sister, Belinda, they are living as their kids living in Ohio with their parents, who one of which is a black. Her mother is a Black Widow, who is a Black Widow, Melinda Vostok, and their father is Alexei Shostov. I forgive me for the names there, for the terrible pronunciation. So they are actually technically undercover. They are actually technically undercover Russian spies. So, and then one day they all pack up and leave and flee to Cuba, where then all of a sudden, once they are able to escape into Cuba, Natasha and Belinda, they are taken to become into the apparent Red Room and to become Black Widows.
My girls are the toughest girls in the...
And by the apparent director of this Red Room, this secret Black Widow training program by General Dreykov. So now we fast forward to 2016, right after the events of Captain America Civil War. The entire Avengers are completely, they have completely fallen apart, and Natasha Romanoff, she's on the run because of her actions in Civil War. So she flees to Norway into a safe house with the help of her friend Rick Mason. She's able to get, try to just salvage some bit of her life, or just, try to just, be safe, and, where she doesn't have to worry about the U.S. military going after her. So she's able to hide, but then all of a sudden she's attacked by a mysterious masked person known as Taskmaster, who apparently who's been assigned to attack her, not by the Avengers, or well, I should say at that point Tony Stark, but has been assigned by apparently the Red Room and by apparently General Dreykov. So she's able to fight the person off. She's able to get away, and she realizes that person, it wasn't actually after her. It was actually after a suitcase that contains vials of this strange antidote to Black Widows. So apparently, when Black Widows, they go enter the Red Room, when they graduate, their minds are actually altered in order to do certain assignments. So yeah, now Natasha, she has this antidote for other Black Widows to this Red Room, despite apparently when she was before the Avengers even really became a thing, her and Hawkeye and also SHIELD, they actually destroyed the Red Room and supposedly killed Dreykov and his daughter, and that was what got her truly into SHIELD. But apparently she was wrong. That apparently the Red Room is still here and Dreykov is still alive after all these years. So she realizes that these vials, they came from her sister Belova, who is over in Budapest. So she makes her way over to Budapest and sees Belova, and they both realize that, and then now Natasha both realizes, oh, I did not destroy the Red Room or Dreykov. So now she realizes that she can't stay in hiding any longer, that she needs to truly destroy the Red Room along with Belova and just free these other Black Widows that are just around the world and just prevent them from causing any more harm. So they both try to set off to do this, but sadly neither of them really know where the Red Room is at this point, because it's completely undercover. No one knows where it is. Not even Black Widows know where they are. So they go over to their former father, who is actually in a Russian prison. They go over to, they break out Alexei Shovos, and in order to try to ask him where the Red Room is. And actually a little thing about him, he is actually technically kind of like the Russian version of Steve Rogers' Captain America. He's also very super strong. So yeah, he's the Russian, the quote-unquote communist Captain America. If the Red Captain America. Anyway, so he sadly does not know where the Red Room is, but his wife does. The I guess we could say OG Black Widow, Melinda Vostok. So they go find her on a off-the-grid farm just south of St. Petersburg, Russia, and as well, at first things are very tense just because, you know, Natasha and Belova, they're kind of mad at their, well, actually not actual legitimate parents for kind of, you know, giving them away to the Red Room to become Black Widows. But, despite everything, all four of them, they agree to kind of work together and try to eventually destroy the Red Room. So, sadly, Vostok, at first, she isn't really too keen on trying to destroy the Red Room. She actually kind of alerts the Red Room and Dreykov to their exact location, and they are all taken hostage by the Red Room. And just as Natasha, and just as Melinda is about to, you know, be questioned by by Dreykov, it is revealed that her and Natasha kind of did a little switch, and with some face mask technology. I know, right? Face mask, and that, yeah, they are, despite them being captured, they kind of got led right into the Red Room, and they all end up try to take down the Red Room. They free a bunch of Black Widows, destroy Dreykov, destroy the Red Room, and as well defeat Taskmaster, who actually turns out was not. Taskmaster was actually Dreykov's daughter, who also survived, but due to the damage that she suffered from the attack that Natasha did to her some years earlier, she became somewhat robotic. But her and all the Black Widows are all given the antidote, and Natasha's former family, they all agree to go around the world and free Black Widows, while Natasha, she still goes on the run, and as well, at the end of this, she meets up with Rick Mason and gets the Quinjet that we see her having in Infinity War. So yeah, that's pretty much Black Widow in a nutshell. All in all, this movie, you know, it was alright. I mean, I knew kind of going in it wasn't going to be the greatest thing. You know, it's not gonna be, you know, Avengers Infinity War or Avengers Endgame level. Like, if any of you were actually kind of expecting it to be that level, just don't do that. Don't. Like, it's not that good. It's not a terrible movie. It's not the hype that Endgame was. And as well, you know, also the time placement, I feel like was also a bit of a turnoff to me. Like, the characters themselves, their roles, they play them really good. I mean, Scarlett Johansson, as always, does great as Black Widow, and Florence Pugh and David Harbour, and just and all the characters, they play their roles really good. And the humor, just the tension between them is just, their chemistry that they all have together is really well done. But it's just the placement of this movie. It's just, honestly, I don't understand why they couldn't have just had this after, why couldn't they just put this in right after Civil War? Like, there's really no spoilers to, like, if they were to put this in, they're really, with the exception of the end credit scene, which, by the way, the end credit scene, I forgot to mention, it actually takes place after Endgame and Infinity War, after Natasha dies. Belova, she visits her grave, and Elaine from Seinfeld shows up. Not actually Elaine from Seinfeld shows up, and she gives Belova a new target.
I've got your next target. Thought I'd hand deliver it. Maybe you'd like a shot at the man responsible for your sister's death. Kind of a cutie, don't you think?
And the target, turns out, is Clint Barton, aka Hawkeye, who they both blame for Natasha's death, even though she kind of killed herself. Which, honestly, why would Elaine want to kill Clint? I don't get it. But honestly, I mean, if anyone she would want to kill, she probably would want to try to kill the Soup Nazi, if anyone.
You're through, Soup Nazi. Back it up. No more soup for you.
Even though he's in Argentina because of her. But anyway, so yeah, honestly, I don't know why they couldn't really put this in like just before Endgame or Infinity War. Like, honestly, there really, like, with the exception of the end credit scene, there really is no spoilers or any way to see that no spoilers to anything beyond it. Like, and honestly, I'm sure, like, the army of Black Widows and the Russian Captain America definitely would have helped in the fight against against Thanos in Infinity War and in Endgame. Like, seriously, come on, that really would have been good. Although then again, we don't know who out of all of them would have survived the snap, but, So all in all, Black Widow, I give this movie a B+. I definitely would recommend watching it. I mean, if you like Scarlett Johansson, which who doesn't like her? Although at this point Disney doesn't really like her because she's not too happy with what Disney Plus is kind of doing to her. But oh well, she's dead in the MCU anyway. So anyway guys, so now let's talk about what the next movie that I'm going to be reviewing is. I'll give you a hint. It stars a big major basketball player, but it's not a documentary. And it involves Looney Tunes. What could it be? Well, here's the trailer.
King James. Welcome to the Space Jam. Introducing the Goon Squad.
You gotta win this game.
Let's end this.
Got you, Bron.
And get our son back.
Yikes. Classic.
Welcome to the Space Jam.
Yeah, next movie, Space Jam: A New Legacy, starring LeBron James. Let's see if he's the king on the screen or if he's just the king on the court. I'll see you guys next time. If y'all enjoyed this video, give us a like, consider subscribe if you're not, and share this video out. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
It's over.